The man was suddenly tripped by something. When he stood up to look, he discovered it was a thick pumpkin vine. Following the direction of the vine, Paul found a strange-looking pumpkin. This pumpkin gave off a foul smell and attracted flies that hovered around it. But Paul was drawn to this odd-looking pumpkin because today was the annual Halloween festival. The community residents had organized a pumpkin carving contest on their own, and even the local TV station took the town's event seriously, sending reporter Bob to cover and film it. So Paul pulled out a knife and live-streamed himself taking the odd-looking pumpkin home. Nearby, a crow kept cawing at Paul, as if warning that this pumpkin shouldn't be picked. Later, Paul drove to the site of the pumpkin festival, and the pumpkin he brought was immediately noticed by his colleagues. That night, when the pumpkin carving contest began, all the participants placed their pumpkins on the table, and the strange-looking pumpkin was also brought to the contest by Tommy. With a live broadcast from the TV station, the host, dressed as a clown, officially announced the start of the competition. Everyone hurried to carve their pumpkins in a frenzy, but Tommy just stood there stalled because he couldn't find his carving knife. Next, the camera cut to the perspective of the strange pumpkin. Watching its fellow pumpkins being casually carved by humans, it was filled with rage. At that moment, Tommy finally found his carving knife. Just as he was about to start carving, the pumpkin suddenly sprouted numerous vines that wrapped around Tommy's hands. Everyone was shocked by what they saw, but not a single person stepped up to help. The TV reporter Bob thought it was just a special effects show and praised them for how realistic it looked. That sent his live stream ratings soaring. But then the pumpkin monster attacked again. This time, it drove a vine straight into Tommy's wrist, then used its vines to control Tommy's hands, sent him straight to meet his maker. Everyone screamed when they saw this, and finally realized the danger. People began desperately running for the exit, and the pumpkin monster quickly grabbed a carving knife from the table and hurled it toward the fleeing crowd. After that, the pumpkin monster stretched out its vines again and skewered two fleeing people together. As brutal and bloody as it was, a small handful of people still managed to escape. Bob led everyone into a warehouse to hide. A few people peeked out through the crack in the door and saw that a flower had bloomed from the pumpkin monster's head, and it let out incessant angry roars. Beside him, Sasha wondered if a radioactive leak from the chemical plant was what caused the pumpkin to mutate.